Hello, hello, everyone. Sending love, sending love. Um, Felt a call today to talk a little bit about my upcoming events for men. Next weekend, July 30th, 31st, Saturday and Sunday, I'm doing a free digital men's retreat called the Tao of Man. And then starting shortly after that, on August 8th, um, I'm leading a brotherhood journey called Brothers of the Ever Innocent Heart. And that will be a month by month journey of at least 4 months. 4 months is the minimum time commitment for the journey to ensure a really substantial and deep journey with a group of brothers. Um, so, yeah, I wanted to speak a little bit about these offerings, these events, and my unique flavor of men's work. So, yeah, I immersed myself in men's work a lot the last couple years, and it led me to the realization that there are certain levels of healing, certain levels of sharing, um, certain levels of rawness and realness and vulnerability that come out in men's spaces that don't tend to come out when there are women present. Um, I also totally love spaces with both men and women, but it's a different vibe, a different energy, a different purpose. And in my experience, if you add even one woman to the mix, the energy of a group of men completely changes. So, what I realized through the immersion in men's work is that there are certain spaces that men can go to together when it's just brotherhood, it's just brothers present that men don't go to otherwise, um, and that this can be an extremely healing experience, an extremely powerful, beautiful experience to be held by brothers in a space of non-judgmental presence while you're able to really gradually peel back the layers and reveal and share more and more of your wounds, your battle scars, your demons, stuff that you may have never shared with anyone else before. That's really the essence of the ancient practice of the circle, the sacred men's circle, is just men coming together to speak from the heart, to listen from the heart, from a place of deep, grounded, embodied presence, non judgmental, neutral, loving presence, and to just hold one another as the truth of that moment is shared by the men that are present. The truth of what is really alive and on their hearts is shared. And it turns out that this is an extraordinarily powerful medicine. It may sound simple and straightforward. Often the most powerful things are very simple, actually. And this practice is indeed extremely powerful if engaged in sincerely over a period of time. So I realized that the last couple years, and this led me to want to become more deeply involved in men's work, to want to create men's containers. So I created an 8-week journey called The Sovereign Man um, about half a year ago now. And that was an extremely powerful, beautiful, rewarding experience for myself and for the men involved. Um, I felt it was one of my most powerful containers I've ever held, and various men in the container told me that it was one of the most powerful containers they'd ever experienced, one of the most healing experiences they'd ever had. Um, then recently in the Azores, I did a men's retreat called Volcano Island that was also very powerful and just further solidified my sense of the potency of this medicine. So I feel from that perspective really good about Brothers of the Ever Innocent Heart, this brotherhood journey I'm going to be leading. It's a beautiful group of men assembling for this, and I know that it's going to be very powerful. Through a combination of the sacred practice of the men's circle, that ancient practice that I mentioned, as well as incorporating other modalities, meditations, and different sorts of transmissions and practices and exercises, challenges, rites of passage, shadow work, the guys bonding together, real brotherly bonding and friendships forming. It's going to be quite powerful. The essential medicine, there will be a fair number of moving parts and different modalities incorporated, but I do want to emphasize that the essential medicine is really this simple yet profound practice of men coming together to be radically transparent, radically honest, to share themselves with a level of naked honesty that they may have never experienced before, and to hold one another in a space of loving presence, in a space of non-judgmental, grounded, here and now-ness. That is the fundamental medicine. And my flavor of men's work, I would say, is unique. A lot of men's work seems to me to focus on men really trying to get in their masculine, kind of like beating the chest and talking a lot about polarity and talking a lot about how, we need to really get in our masculine so that the women can be in their feminine, and then we can find this perfect balance, this yin and yang. And I think there's a lot of value in that school of thought. There's a lot to be learned from that, and there's a lot of value in activating one's masculine characteristics and qualities. There's a lot of value in working with the major masculine archetypes of the king, the warrior, the magician, the lover. A lot of value in playing with that. However, I would say that my view is more expansive, you could say. I mean, to each their own, but my sense is not so much that we're being asked at this moment in history for men to push themselves to get in their masculine, especially when it comes from this kind of contrived energy of like, oh, I really need to, I need to be in my masculine. I just continue to feel that most profoundly we're being invited to be what we truly are. We're being invited to be in the fullness of what we truly are, to do what makes us come alive, and more fundamentally, to simply be ourselves nakedly, transparently, radiantly, in the fullness of who we are. It can sound simple and cliche to be yourself, but to really be who you truly are, to really keep peeling back these layers and finding these different parts, to really like realize, oh, to really be the fullness of what I am means to crack my heart open and integrate my heart and integrate my primal animalistic power. It means to integrate my repressed rage. It means to integrate this primordial kind of dragon kundalini sexual energy. It means to integrate my wounded child. It means to integrate my ordinary dude who's just chillaxing with the homies. It means to integrate my feminine, my woman, my angel, my demon, my saint, my sinner, my peasant, my narcissist, my selfless saint. It's all of it. It's all of it. There's nothing, in my view, nothing in existence is actually fundamentally separate from you. There is nothing in anything else that is not also in you in some form, if only as a potentiality. So, yeah, over the years, it's become more and more clear to me that my work relates to doing that deep excavation, unearthing more and more of ourselves, bringing more and more of that into the light to be integrated so that we can become that more full expression of what we truly are, so we can be in the fullness of what we truly are. And yeah, interestingly, a big part of that relates to simply relaxing into what we already are, just allowing ourselves to be exactly as we are right now, to really see that we're already whole, that we're already these poems, these artworks, just as we are, to really bring this deep level of love to who we already are. And then we learn to hold that space and create that safe container for more of ourselves to be revealed, more of these disowned, fragmented pieces of self that we've been repressing and pushing away can then begin to re-emerge into the light of consciousness, to be held in that loving presence and reintegrated. So yeah, so there's a little taste of my philosophy around this work. I could go into substantially more depth about it, but I think that gives an idea. And yeah, so the retreat, the digital men's retreat I'm doing next weekend is called the Tao of Man. Tao is an ancient Chinese word meaning the way. You may have heard of the book, The Tao Te Ching by Lao Tzu, the book of the way. And the Tao refers to the absolute principle of existence, refers to nature, source, God, whatever you want to call it. Basically, existence considered as a totality, as a living intelligence. Um, and Tao can also refer to the art of aligning one's life with that absolute principle, um, which is essentially the art of being truly oneself, is another way to put it. To be truly what one is, to simply allow oneself to be exactly as one is. So the Tao of Man retreat is really intended to be a standalone event for men to know themselves more deeply, to relax into who they already are, to return more so to the wholeness that they already are, to activate their creative power, activate aspects of themselves that may be dormant or repressed at this time, and to facilitate their blossoming upon their most natural trajectory in life. That's the aim of my work. It's not to contrive this idea of we need to improve ourselves and we need to become this and achieve that and transform this. And no, it's fundamentally, as I look at it more over time, it relates most fundamentally to relaxing into who you already are, bringing profound acceptance to who you already are, seeing that what you already are is already a wholeness, already an artwork, already a poem, and then realizing that from that place of already wholeness and deep relaxation into what you already are, then you begin to automatically blossom upon your most natural trajectory. Because it is just simply in our nature to flower, to blossom. We are like flowers or like plants in that respect. Um, so yeah, the Tao of Man is intended to give men a visceral taste of what that work is like, a visceral taste of brotherhood and men's work, especially in my unique context, with my unique flavor, and with everything else that I bring to that. There's also definitely strong aspect of non-duality, enlightenment practice, self-inquiry, God realization to the work that I do. There's a very strong strain of mystical practices designed to allow for the direct seeing and knowing of this moment now as the indivisible mystery of being itself, as the absolute mystery, the absolute reality of what you are, seeing this moment now as utterly complete and whole unto itself. This is a really key aspect, I believe, to seeing one's own already wholeness. If you can see that you are inseparable, inextricable from the absolute reality, the absolute mystery in its wholeness, then you can see your own wholeness. Um, that's another large strain of my work. So, again, the Tao of Man retreat is intended to allow men to get that visceral taste of my medicine in this area. It's a standalone event. There's no pressure to join Brothers of the Ever Innocent Heart after attending the Tao of Man, although it is also intended somewhat as a prelude to Brothers of the Ever Innocent Heart so that men can get a clearer sense of what this work is, the power of brotherhood within the particular context, the particular frame that I am working within. And yeah, just offering this retreat as a gift to the men of the world, and also as a prelude for those who will get that taste of that medicine and realize that they are called to go deeper and undertake the at least 4-month brotherhood journey of Brothers of the Ever Innocent Heart. So that's what I wanted to share. Thank you for listening. That gives an idea of what this work is all about, my flavor of men's work, and these upcoming events that I'm holding for men, these upcoming journeys. So hope to see you there. Thank you for listening, brother. Thank you for listening also, sisters. If some of you listen to this. And yeah, sending much love, much peace, much joy your way. Blessings and wishes for deep relaxation into what you already are, the wholeness that you already are. Amen. Much love. Take it easy.